Hello, everybody. Welcome to Overthrow.
Hello.
Unfortunately, some video was lost, so I will have to catch everybody up. Thanks to a little help here, our players were able to actually find a way to Tall Town, a town specifically inhabited by the rich and powerful. Little, they went there to talk with what they thought would be the person who had captured Maki Maki's family, although it turned out it was not. With a with his quick death through let's say less than lethal means, our old enemy, the vampire captain, had came and captured them. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't exactly kill them. He instead used them to go look for the Rat King, a quote unquote urban legend that has been terrorizing Talltown. As they search through the sewers for it, they eventually come across a room filled with bones, and with a little puzzle fixed, accidentally unleashed well, more like a eldritch horror plus bone. They ended up fighting it for a minute before the Rat King actually saved them. He was not very good at trying to conceal his identity. He was able to give our party a little information and even gifted them a dead Rat King so that they could give it to the old vampire. Unfortunately, things are still trying to trying to get their way out of a certain situation. As okay, now to the actual game. As y'all are currently exiting the large sewer grate, you end up coming across, well, directly outside, the vampire captain. So,
Oh, God.
did you find it?
Just kind of takes out the small rat king.
Ugh, I would have thought it would be bigger. Oh well. As my promise, you may leave Talltown anyone, without any of the guards trying to snap you. Now, get out of my town. As he then grabs the Rat King and then proceeds to walk away.
Yeah, we're only recording. Why you have to make jokes like that? You're just like Hunter.
Like father, like son.
The thing is, I also make some of those jokes sometimes because we know we ain't gonna do it. It's just like it proceeds to squash with the whole body weight. Jesus, I'm so
This is why
sorry.
I sometimes wish I had a brother of my own. Oh wait, I have 3. Oh wait, they're all younger than me. Oh wait, some of them don't like tussling with me.
That's why you tussled first.
Ah yes, then get in trouble. That's lovely.
It's better than, well, at least a little better than having a 4-year-old that will constantly try to fight you, and no matter how much you want to, you can never hit him back as hard as you would like.
Oh, you can still hit them.
Yeah, yeah, but after that,
You can
you're buckled
awake
around your
afterward.
mom's fireplace. And trust me, I'd rather not have my own buttocks displayed for everyone to see as like a hunting trophy.
First off, that's abuse. Second off, That's abuse.
Third off.
That's abuse.
Yeah.
But okay, so anyways, what what will y'all do now? Will you try to sneak around the
What?
wall? Or will y'all then simply leave and not risk any more problems?
Well, I know I'm gonna leave, but I'm first gonna risk a little bit because. And proceeds to just start kind of looking around with my hood up.
Tall Town is still Tall Town. Everyone's rich. Everyone's a jerk. Well,
Everyone's going to die. I need to take off these socks. Oh my eczema.
it's not
Oi!
that everyone's directly insulting. It's more like everyone doesn't care. Each person there seems to be developed their own worlds of gluttony or greed or pride or whatever else their sick, twisted, and rich minds want to do.
Mm.
If I want to buy a slave for my own personal gain, I will.
Yeah, that's just about how half of them work. The other half are the ones who actually got rich through well, actually, there are two types of them. The first one are the ones that got rich through illegal means but doesn't want to do it anymore, and the last one are just farmers that got really lucky.
All
Yeah.
one thing in common.
Would you say there are slaves?
The idea of it has mostly been pushed out by most citizens, although you won't need to dig very deep in the creeks and crevices and shadows to find some.
Well, I know what I'm gonna do.
We're not killing people.
Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do today. But seriously, come on.
We're not killing people.
Not even just one enslaver.
If you can find one that's keeping kobolds, then fine.
Immediately start searching for the back areas.
It's it doesn't take long for you to find one, although it's a bit different. It's simply a man kneeling on the side of the wall with entire empty cont- crates and such behind him. None of it seems to have anything in it. He seems very distraught until he sees you. Ah, hello there, little. Um, uh, the he's barely ruffling around his little jackets and pockets that he has before he manages to pull out a single gem. You like, uh, you like gem, right?
That's the next person. They are used for enchanting, and they are also used for.
Ah, Jeremiah, there you are.
Mm, gems. Do you have any diamonds in the rough, so to speak?
Diamonds in the rough. I'm afraid I'm afraid not much will be found here. All those.
My son is simply looking for special help, is what he is trying to ask for.
Ah, how about you go on 23rd Street? Since that sucker's always got something. So I'm gonna kill him today. But I'm afraid got nothing for y'all right now, sir. Ever since
Mm,
those adventurers came here, they took every last one of them. Don't really have time for anything anymore.
My mom's
no,
sick.
I think I could help you out a little bit.
Tell me then, how would that be?
Well, once a slave gets loose and gets by a slaver, they can be sold again.
Um, just, just no more. Just wait a second. He proceeds to look at y'all for a couple seconds before he can clearly see something dawn on his face as he gets up.
What?
Oh, nothing, nothing. Everything is completely fine. Mm.
You're acting suspicious. I don't like suspicious.
Um, he definitely looks like he's contemplating something, but he's not exactly sure of it. Eventually, you hear just say "damn it" under his breath before he then completely takes off in the other direction, running deeper into the alleyways.
Ah, here we go.
Do y'all chase after him, or do you simply let him be?
Didn't see my face, so I don't have a problem.
He clearly recognized us from somewhere.
Mm.
And I'm not a fan of recognition.
Well, let's continue walking a bit to where he said. I want to make sure everything is in the right place.
Which they proceed to follow him.
You go to the 23rd Street.
Menacingly.
You go to the 23rd Street, and there you see a very popular store. You don't know that it's particularly popular, but you can definitely tell it's because of the large crowd of people in front of it. It seems to be some sort of pet shop, as you can tell through the logos. But other than that, you can't discern anything else from the large chattering of, well, everybody there.
Mm. Which start just kind of perusing around a little bit.
Cicada is keeping Maki Maki very close.
Also, it suddenly seemed, although somehow your other allies seem to have vanished. You don't really see them You look left, look right, but you don't really see them anywhere.
Mm.
This is a normal occurrence.
As you as you get closer, you then see the name of the shop. Founders, very interesting name too. Founders Pet Store. It says with bold font letters.
Mm.
Yes. Will y'all be will you be waiting in line to get in or will you move along?
We'll be waiting.
I'll be waiting.
It's it will definitely
Not
take a
because
while. The
not
entirety
because
of
we
it's
can buy anything, but because there might be slaves in there that could be kobolds, and we might want to free them.
I must warn you. As it takes a total of 3 hours in order for just for you to get in. The entire place is backed up almost around the block. But it does seem to go pretty quickly. Well, relatively quickly.
Mm.
As you eventually get close enough to again see the sign, Founders, which is again Founders Pets Shop. As you actually look in, you mostly see normal pets that you may see see in a store. Those are parakeets, parrots, ferrets, fish, dogs, cats, the usual. But you do see an assortment of stranger things, such as one that doesn't really seem right. A simple sign hanging near the back that you can barely see through the windows, called exotic.
Hmm.
Mm. Which
Would hope they have a license.
uh-huh. Mm.
After
Kind of
after another 30 minutes of waiting, the door is now open to you. It seems they only allow 5 people in the store at a time.
I have
Very
been also keeping an eye out for the people leaving, seeing what they
what they what?
like, what kind of pet they leave with, if any.
It, most of them seem to go to the exotic section, although you do see a single very excitable kid looking at the ferrets and goldfish.
Ah, yes, a normal child.
Well, I wouldn't say normal. He has gold encrusted tattoos along with golden earrings.
As I said, normal for the area.
So yeah, just about. Their parents doesn't really seem very interested in the ferrets or the goldfish. They do seem very keen on the exotic area, as the eyes keep on darting to it.
Which once inside, Cicada makes sure that Maki Maki never stands outside of a tail length's worth of space from him by keeping his tail hooked around whatever he can on Maki Maki.
Mm-hmm.
As his curiosity does seem to peak as he starts to go over to the same exotic area that everyone else goes to.
As you go over to the exotic area, you see that there is a small but very noticeable line of three people, and you see one singular person simply wandering between the shell, between multiple parts you can see inside. You see a
Do
man.
I do I fucking recognize any of them?
No, you do not recognize any of the figures within this place, but you do notice one thing: a strange figure that you just can see, just out of your line of sight, shaking the hands of somebody, and then proceeding to move them to the back door before letting the next person in.
Which tugs on your tail a little bit.
I saw.
Starts walking that way.
We can't go in yet. We must wait. There's a line. I know you are eager for company. He's basically playing as if he is a rich man getting his thing, a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a line. Be patient.
After 20 minutes or so, the line begins to clear up, and you are next in line. As the final customer leaves, you see the ghostly figure hand beckon you inside the exotic section of the shop.
Which they go inside.
Inside is much darker, as the lights seem to be, well, darker. Seem to be like a cupboard sorts. You see animals in cages, all of which seem to be very fine. You see you see
Mm.
worm eggs. You see little dragon hatchlings. You even see, weirdly enough, a little baby hydra sitting in a large-ish tank. Just enough room to keep it from, well, trying to do anything else besides just wandering and eating and doing normal hydra things. The rest just seems normal. Well, sort of. Do you The man still seeming coming from the nearest shadow says, "Is there anything specific that y'all would be looking for?"
Well,
Just
if you have anything that would be of a good companionship for my friend here, he says
uh,
he gestured to Maki Maki.
Hmm.
which just kind of holds on to the tail. Well, a bit. It's looking up. Ugh.
I see then. Well, I do have some that I do believe that are fantastic for the smaller ones. This is a Cerberus, a rare species of canine thought to be extinct, or at least known for very few reasons. It's Normally they are very vicious creatures, similar to similar to other dangerous breeds, but with proper care and just, well, not being a jerk, they can be fantastic companion dogs for around any ages.
At least it's good to know that you care for your creatures properly, but
Of
I don't
course.
think that will be of much use.
Ah, small estate. I see. How about some of these exotic fish? As he points to a large container of assorted fish. Each one looks a little different. Some of them look very different. Some of them are small as a fingernail, while others is as large as a cow. They may take space, but some of them can be quite intelligent, even the ones hiding in the creeks and crevices. Or is that not what you're searching for?
Not quite.
So tell me, would you be searching for the humanoid gem?
That might be what I'd be looking for.
Even within the shadows, you see a simple crooked smile come across his face as he leads you into another room, a very smaller one. As as you then come into a room filled with people, different ages, all seemingly changed walls or puffed. You see tieflings, humans, dwarves, elves, half orcs, Goliaths. You even see a single kobold sitting in the back. He walks over to it. How about this little kobold? I must. Unfortunately, the price would be quite steep. Those adventures, after all, you know, right?
We understand quite well.
Exactly. The kobold will be high priced, but the rest eh, will be its average price.
Looks at looks at the guy, looks at Cicada.
Cicada just very, like, carefully removes his tail from the hook that he has around Maki Maki. Very discreetly.
Or we do have the dwarves. They can live for several human. They can live for several generations and are expert craftsmanships. If you need one to make silverware piece of or a piece of armor for decoration, they would be great for this. Or if you're searching one
Takes
for more of a magical feel, the elves are quite renowned for their capabilities within magic, of course. Very.
takes a little piece of bread and just tosses it to the kobold. Mm.
The second you do that, that act does not go unnoticed to the man. You can see him simply look at you for a second.
It appears he'd chosen who he likes.
Yes, I see. That'll be around 500 gold.
I do not remember how much Cicada has, but I don't think it's that much.
We recently got that same amount of money from the old man that got killed in his sleep. If we use all that on this kobold right here, right now, we'd be brought back to about 17 gold. Plus, you
Bless you.
just kind of looks
Hold on, let
at
me see. Need to get to my computer again.
goes over to the cage.
You see the kobold look at you, and you can just tell that he's been through a lot. His eyes are worn and tired, but you can definitely tell that if given the choice, he would rip your throat out. You can literally see him preparing to literally just barely moving his body, just enough to try to leap.
Just seeing this, I just put a little. I moved my cloak enough to show only it, my little clawed hands. Scaly, clawed, small. Similar in look to it, but tan.
You see him. He looks at it for a second, although it does take him a minute. You can visibly see him begin calming down. And again the act does not go unnoticed to the and once again this act does not go unnoticed to the man as he then simply stares at you for a second before returning to Cicada. So then, will will you be getting that one then?
Yes.
I see then.
Now, just allow me a moment to prepare the coin.
You can still see suspicion in his eyes, but he you could see like it as what's the right term? Very no. You could just feel that it's a yes as he just sits there, eyes gazed on you and you alone.
Mm-hmm. Just proceeds to slightly point underneath my cloak at its good old cicada and whispers into my other cloaked hand, which is holding a little bit of copper. And I cast message, so only they can hear me.
Who? Cicada or Cobalt?
Cicada. It's like
Yes,
cicada.
you may.
Cicada.
Mhm.
Shall we give this guy a slight heart attack?
He
I
did, like, while going through his bag, did glance at Maki Maki as if, like, approving.
just like point this time point to the guy and just like speaks in draconic. So just in case you fall. And I cast catapult on his heart.
Hmm. Catapult on his
Which
heart.
if it doesn't, yeah, catapult. It launches is
Yes, I
a
remember.
one. Oh yeah,
You tried to
last
use
time
that
I
on one of my enemies.
undead. Yeah, on one of your undead, and because they were undead, it didn't really do much. It still hurt them, but it didn't do much
But just to be clear, you are casting catapults on
on
him.
this guy, the slaver.
Great, great to know. Once you cast it, nothing happens. You just hear a simple sigh and says, "Oh, thank goodness. I was getting a little worried there. I was getting worried that you were a little somebody, but thankfully you're not them." So, as you see a normal hand retract into the almost ghostly smog that you Now that you now see, you see a simple you see a much more grotesque and monstrous hand appear from the fog.
Which I immediately back up. Mm,
What's wrong, little child? Are you afraid? Are you afraid that your spell did not work? That little pathetic attempt of a little spell? Do you fear for your
Immediately,
life, little cobalt?
immediately, he reaches towards my side. Like I'm gonna actually pull out something. However, I just summoned my fucking spear in my hand and mm, bonus action cast branding smite on it. It's so next time I hit, they'll take radiant damage as well.
Alright then. What? Don't tell me you're trying to fight. Don't you know weaklings should just sit there and cower in fear as the big bad wolf eats you?
I would not underestimate my friend here. That is a huge mistake that you would be making for your own life.
And then just speaks a little bit more draconic.
I'm not talking to you, Dragonborn.
Fall, fall, fall! And I just immediately lunge.
You see him.
Let me just roll for Cicada's reaction real quick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a 27 ends up grabbing you.
Oh, how
Can you have Maki Maki roll a wisdom saving throw, please?
First of all, fuck you. Second of all, natural one.
Okay, he uses command to calm you down. I apologize for his outburst. We have been through a rough patch in life. Multiple rough patches, I'm sure of which you would be perfectly understandable.
I would if the price of such a rarity, as he looks at Maki Maki, would not be so grandiose.
Just hood slightly called back to on the horns to show a little bit the kobold snout, and just kind of looking at them. I'm only angry because of the sores you put them on, and still expect us to pay 500.
I will say any form of damaged goods, emotion, or physical, isn't exactly best price worthy.
Try to scan this out. Most likely 200%. Really, it should probably be around somewhere or 150.
500 is the kind of price that you would give a kobold that is in perfect condition, mentally and physically. They have been raised right, cared for right, not shackled or damaged in any other way.
Oh, you insult us
You see a
heavily.
simple, you see a very simple snob come across his face. Huh. This is not a haggling item. Say yes or a no. Say sold or I leave my shop. There is no haggling here.
I'll tell everyone what undead foul piece you are. Trying to scam everyone out of their money.
Undead. Is that what you think I am? An undead?
The fact that you didn't die immediately from your heart almost getting lurched out would assume so. And the
Ah,
fact that you tend to hide in the shadows means you either are undead and you prefer people not to see, or you are something else that is heartless.
A monstrosity.
oh, bravo. The heroic hero stopped the monster. Do you think that's gonna be the title, huh? The heroic hero saved the day. The
Oh, we are
heroic
nothing
hero
compared to
stopped the
heroes.
monster
We are.
from the.
Wait. We are. I have to. I have to correct you on that. We are not heroes. We are simple people that have morals, property, and a correct mindset to understand that 500 would be way too much for damaged good.
Even if you did die, you would probably only make page 5 of the newspaper, if that.
Not to mention, most of our actions are less than heroic.
I mean, we're buying slaves.
And more than willing to kill anyone to get to them. None of us have good backstories, none of us have good past. We simply just want to make through perfect understanding. Take it from one slave trader to another. 500 is way too much.
Another, as his ears then perk up. A simple smile and says, "If you are another, then I have a suggestion. A little trade, so to speak.
Oh,
Tell me, what of what do you have? If you have
I used I used to sell kobolds, used to sell gnomes and Goliaths if I could. But I'm sure I could find some of those around here. At least the Goliaths.
how about this? If you find me something, if you find me a singular creature, I will trade you this cobalt for that creature.
A simple creature, not asking for a humanoid, just a creature.
I wouldn't be so confident yet. But to answer your question, yes. A simple creature. Nothing crazy, nothing insane. Something so simple and so small. A great trader such as yourself would. This would be child's play, wouldn't it?
Depends on the creature.
You see a you see a slight frown on his face before quickly returns. Exactly. So this traitor is so confident in their abilities. Must be so easy to find something such as something so small and simple, like say a mind flare.
Eh,
I
what
just
are you to deal with? He says as he simply shrugs and reaches out his hand to make a deal. I get you a mind flare, you get us that kobold.
You first see a look of shock and surprise on his face, but the but you see a simple look. A look that speaks 1,000 words without saying one. You can't tell if it's a sucker's look or a idiot's look, or even if it's a this is a dang good deal look. All you see is a simple laughing smirk coming from his face before he puts out his hand saying deal.
I just point over towards Cicada again and then talking to my hand again, just like also passing a message one more time. I have one more plan to kill this guy. You know what a mind flare is, right?
With his other hand behind his back, he just asked for a frickin' moment for Cicada, just one fucking moment. You will get that mind flare whenever I can find it. After all, it should be easy to deal with.
Oh, I would I would try to do it soon, you see. A person such as myself can't just wait around for one person for 300 years just to make a simple trade such as this. Not
Oh,
even
please, as
I.
if 300 years is as long as I can live.
I know how long you live. You, you don't think I haven't traded your kind before?
I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't. But it is admirable that you were able to find my kind after all. They were virtually extinct.
Yes. It took me so much just to find that one singular elder. But it gladly paid paid in full. Now then, unfortunately not everybody can wait as long as you can, or me, or anybody else. If somebody comes with a better offer, I will accept. That's just how business goes. I hope.
The only thing that would be better than a mind flare would be something that would be near impossible to get, like a Trask.
Oh, that myth? You must be joking. Next thing you're gonna tell me is that you're gonna get a naturally blue owlbear. Oh no, wait, a pure white monster lobster. Oh my goodness.
Oh, there were blue hour bears back in my village. Same with lobsters. Everywhere. Every body of water. Bit of a nuisance.
You see, you just see a simple you just see him getting annoyed as you say this. Yes, yes.
But anyway,
Yes,
I
yes.
have a mind flare to find. Come now, child. He says he looks to Maki Maki and just kind of when his back was turned to the guy, winked at Maki Maki to do whatever the hell he was gonna do.
Which I do get rid of the branding smite eats him, and put the spear back in its little hiding place. Go up to the man, just like, you said you might have gnome or dwarf.
He looks to you and says, "Yeah, what about it? Got a couple gnomes in the corner, and you got around 5 dwarfs."
Smart dwarf.
Yes, yes, all master craftsmen and everything. What do you?
How much for 2 of them?
Uh, the dwarves? I would have to say around 300. It can be so difficult. Wouldn't you agree?
Dwarves are usually found in mountains. If you don't know where mountains are, then you don't know where gnomes are. After all, gnomes and kobolds and even dwarfs themselves tend to live in mountains. It's remarkable that you were even able to find one dwarf if you can't even find the mountains they live on.
You can literally hear the creature snarl at you before it simply says, "Ah, you then most of the mountains have been run dry by now. How about you go and do whatever you're gonna do. Find a mine flare. Do whatever you want."
Just kind of looks at some of the dwarves, pretends to hear something, turns around. Your Goliath over there has a weapon.
He simply you don't he doesn't even turn around before saying, "Oh, don't worry. They can't even use it if they have one."
Untrained. I would say deduct another 100 coin.
You can just hear him snarl before he says, "Fine."
This is really good for getting information out of you. Seeing what deals that we can make. Seeing what provokes whatever is needed to. After all, the cobalt thing that you're trying not to budge on. They need another person to survive. They only last so long by themselves. But you should know, you're a slaver.
It is common etiquette to keep social group slaves in a social standing.
I'm afraid that won't be possible for just. I was able to just barely hide this one in a crevice before those adventurers kicked in and took all the kobolds. If you're upset that you don't want 2 of them, then boo-hoo, sorry, worry. I'm afraid
I
some.
would say deduct another 200 coin for that kobold. After all, sad kobold means less productive kobold. Less productive kobold means it's better off used as leather.
Also, a cobalt by itself, not the smartest. Cobalt with other person it learns from, pretty smart, pretty talented. However, being caged by itself, and having all these other ones be so rabid like dogs, I'm surviving. I'm surprised it's even surviving. So thin, so frail. Its arms look like you can see the definition in the bone and in between them.
Yes or no? Do you want it now? Final offer 250.
A little bit of a toothy grin.
What do you say, Geared One? Would you wish a friend?
250's a good enough deal.
Which he took out 250.
I I take the bag, look inside just to make sure. Case. Holy shit! Nobody knows. Okay. Um. Okay. That's not 20 on a sleight of hand because I'm switching around with something else. I'm just like, here you go. I just had to make sure that was 250. You know, don't want you to be a little bit short-handed and try to kill us.
The hand
Which he
reaches
did.
out. The hand
God.
reaches out and pulls it in. It opens and closes
And
and reaches a scarily long hand in, pulling the cobalt out. Thank you
mm-hmm,
for your contribution.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. He puts the cobalt. Like, once the cobalt's out, Oot slowly opens the bag of holding and go ahead. You can check the platinum for yourself. Pretend like I'm gonna show it to his face. Does he lean in?
Yes, he does.
I'm gonna show. Just gonna try to envelop all of him with the damn bag.
You quickly understand that is a not a good idea, as his body simply evaporates as if a collection of dust and wind simply uh, like one of those times you ran into those dusts of wind when you were little.
I cast gust of wind.
You
I'm gonna
see
redirect wind into the bag.
that
God, I
that
didn't think I did
you
this well.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I just rolled to see Cicada's reaction to the gust of wind. I'm pretty sure a nat 20 plus 8 is enough to grab the newly bought kobold and cicada within and Maki Maki within his tail.
Yep. Yep, you actually pull it so fast that somehow, some way, you fix the little kobold's little. The kobold had some back problems, sitting down and all that stuff so much. So much so that it had a bent back. That quick pull actually lined his spine back correctly.
And even if
Cicada's an accidental chiropractor.
And even if I can't get all of them in the bag, I'm gonna make sure that it's more than 50%, even gaseous, is gonna be stuck in that bag.
You do get around 75% before 60, somewhere around there, before the gas starts retreating out of the bag.
Which I just pull tight as I fucking can. Like, I'm gonna suffocate you. There's no air in the astral dimension. Also, never try to hide in the bag of holding. You will suffocate to death. You should, just in case,
I like how Maki Maki hasn't even questioned the fact that Cicada claimed to be a slave trader. Of kobolds, nonetheless.
and just kind of look at the remaining mists. and see if it's still trying to transform back into something.
It does, although it's very scattered. It's almost like it doesn't fully have, almost like a body without a head, just mindlessly moving on the muscle memory that the little muscle gaseous memory that it has. I'm not entirely sure what exactly it's.
It's just kind of looking at this. Well, I wonder how long he can keep himself apart.
You hear a voice from the
Not
back.
much time in
So
here, but
help me when I get out of here. I will sell you for 1 copper.
That's
that
if
is,
you're
of course, if
alive.
you can.
Oh, I hate that I have to use the new bag of holding for this shit.
It's better than let it stay wasted.
Wait a minute. Oh my god, I can just permanently get rid of him. I'm gonna start unattuning the bag.
Untuning?
Yeah, I have bags of holding because I had bags which I attuned with my artificer enchantment. I'm gonna start unattuning it so it turns into a normal bag, which means its connection to the pocket dimension, the astral plane, will no longer be.
Huh.
Just gets out its little tiny carving knife. Try to mess up one of the runes I put on it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Alright, as
If I
for
can.
that, you hear a very beginning to be faintly cry of stop it, no, and before actually the mist itself actually begins dispersing, like if you threw a rock into a floating cloud of glitter.
So you want to start a frontier? Because we can start a frontier. Oh god, that took a lot out of me.
You barely get a second for rest before you hear a chorus of "Help me! Get me out of here! I'll make you a sword! I'll enchant your bow!" and so and such from the various cages. All of which pleading one thing: for you to let them out.
Which I do, all except for the gnomes. And
Uh,
just kind of looking at the gnomes. Proceed to squat down looking at them. So, you two.
the gnomes, the gnomes the gnomes very quickly and obviously say this just for you not to kill them. Oh, we'll make you a mech. We're artificers. We can easily make you a giant mech or a suit of armor or something. Huh? That doesn't that sound nice, Mr. Cobalt? Normal enemy to gnomes.
Yes, but if you want me to let you out, we're gonna have a bit of a role reversal from the very, very, very ancient times.
Calm down, calm down,
You,
calm down. That was a couple thousand years ago. But yeah, you know what they say about burying the hatchet, right?
like you buried the first kobold into a never-ending maze.
Uh, um, I the well, we'll make you a ship. Something big, grandiose, something big, something bad, something good. What do you say? put the whole enemies thing aside for a second, so you can get some pretty sweet stuff. And the others pipe in with their others' ideas. Something they call a goon, a guillotine, and a flat rock, whatever that is.
You guys are starting to lose me.
The locator. One in the back, almost having a panic attack, then yells out of nowhere, "Locator!" The other simply turn
Which I
as
do
as in
over.
I'm I'm a specialty in locators. I can give you two items. One one will always display the position of another and will tell you its location.
Make it 4 and we won't turn you into stew.
Yes, yes, four. Al. That the others proceed to talk about it for a second before it's almost quickly unanimous. Yes, yes, we will make this little device for you. And
Uh-huh.
the others seem to be quickly, actually currently trying to make it. It seems like they can make it right here, right now. Well, well, as one says, it's gonna take a couple days to make, but I promise you, it'll be the toppest of the linest. Huh? Huh? Sound good? Sound good? Enough to not kill us?
Top of the line. You don't have to say it like I'm a child.
We'll make it. One of them pops up from the corner. One of them pops up from the corner. Just stop your chest pounding, you overgrown lizard. We'll make you your junk, all right?
Looks
The
at the one who's that, and if they are gnome,
Yes, it actually is a gnome, and he looks very older and much more gruff. He just stands up, walked to the bars, and said, "We are expert in mechanical work. We are experts in finding things. We are experts in hiding. In order to work in this city, you'll need us." How do you think the previous guy even got his shop up and working properly? The dwarves? Ah, the elves! Don't make me laugh. He made us do it. And if you make us
well,
the
I could
right
see the
deal,
dwarves. I
we'll.
could see the dwarves making the steel cages. I could see the elves making the inscriptions where magic can't reach out of it. And even the collars that two of you have on. Don't worry, I know how to overload them. And finally, gnomes. You know why we hate you.
Of
But
course.
in this case, you offer me more than your lives are worth. So I'll let you guys free for what you promise. And if you can find my tribe that has been taken by those adventurers, well, I'll throw in a neat little bonus for you.
The other
Uh,
two just stopped having a panic attack and are still talking to each other, mostly what to do next.
Mostly, I got two beautiful gems right here. Pulls out a amethyst and pulls out a spherical ruby. It's like, you two can have these if you find my tribe. They look basically like me, but they have a white insignia, usually on their neck, right in between the neck and chest area, much like its eye. If if you find them, put one of the locators there. And if you find a guy that's running the whole business, put one of the locators there and have the two that tell the data. I'm Gonna give you these gems afterwards too.
Each
Just
of
not
them nod
a deal.
vigorously. Yes, yes, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course.
Despite the humans. Puts a hand through the bar.
The older gnome gets up as the others are very hesitant to shake your hand. The older gnome walks up and grabs your hand with a firm handshake and shakes.
Which I began working to unlock the cage.
Alright then, after a couple minutes you do get it undone as the gnomes are let out. The larger gnome walks up to you and simply nods as he gets the other gnomes to another part of the store.
Which I think the older gnome, when my old dagger is just like, here, take this. You might need it.
He takes it and nods his head. Alright, we'll find it.
Just kind of looks at Cicada, looks at the new little member here, just like, so, you proud?
The
A
gnome
tad.
And what's your name, little guy? Like I'm not literally the exact same size as you.
I don't know.
You don't remember your name? How hard did they hit you over your head?
It's 3 times that I've had a concussion. The other 28. But it's just been a while. I was I was a young adult in gnome years when I was taken, traded from here to there. Each one just called me Little Gnome. I don't really remember much.
They called a kobold little gnome. Oh my god, that's one, racist against small people. Two, how fucking dare they? And three, I'm sorry you can't remember your name.
Well, I did always wear a coat and wear a robe so they couldn't see what I was. I thought if they saw what I truly was, then they were simply going to kill
Kill
me.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I had the same getup.
You hear you then hear a simple ding from the back and almost everyone there freezes for a second. As for all they knew, that simple ding could have been the end of their life.
Out the back, out the back. Cicada,
Hmm?
can you pretend to be a dead man in the bag? And just tell the people, yeah, we ran out of the exclusives.
Alright.
As I start helping people out the back, slowly, carefully. What do you do, Cicada? The focus is on you.
He does play the thing.
All right. All right, you see that it's a younger some younger people, two of them. They say one of them the girl walks up and says, "Hi. Um sorry, it's the first time doing something like this. You wouldn't
Hmm.
have any lindworm eggs, do you?"
Hmm. I'm not too sure. I will have to check the back if that is the case. For now, though, you can take a look around. But I fair warn you, we are out of the specials.
They simply the the male simply waves his hand. Oh no, we're just looking for a little pet, a little lindworm.
I see. Well, that's good. I don't have to worry too much.
All right, all right. So do you actually go look?
He does go look.
You do actually find some. You do actually find a couple lindworm eggs, along with a couple other dragon species.
Okay, so we do have some.
There is there is a single what's it called? A single sign near all the stuff like that that simply says check check person's records for other companions. It essentially means make sure they can even take care of one. And weirdly enough, has a list of required items for each of the creatures in the shop. He may he may have been a seller, but one thing's for sure, he was not a animal abuser.
That's good.
Also, just for you guys to know, this is a lindworm.
Bless
I
you.
want it.
A lindworm is a dragon with no wings and only front leg. Very akin to a serpent, but not quite, as they grow larger than mountains at times.
This one can. Well, these specific breeds can get around the size of. Hold on, let me think. 20 feet in length?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, they're much smaller than normal ones, although they can be just as deadly. Maybe even more deadly.
Hmm.
Yeah, they aren't very known for being very easy. So then, Cicada, will you sell them the Lindworm egg?
Yes, with the fair warning that it can get quite large.
They nod. They nod as they happily say, "Oh yes, perfect. That's perfect" to each other, and they put down 1,200 pieces of gold. Lin- Lindworms are expensive.
Hold on, how much gold?
Oh, 1,200 gold.
1,200.
Quick, quick,
That is actually the price.
We are keeping this money.
Yes.
Alright then, you hand over the Lindworm egg as the couple looks very happy about it as they then walk out. As you see more people, as you see the linemen begin to die down, but you still see people coming in trying to get some more pets.
Let's just say he is taking full advantage of this. These people don't know any better. They're giving a con man their money.
As you as you hear a simple ding in your head, a little pop, an idea.
I can do this for a living.
Yep, and we're strangely enough, while you were back there, you did see a simple little sign, probably for probably because he didn't. It was a little more difficult to find, but it was so simple, so easy. Room. That's all it was. A simple room. It's a simple live-in store. Weirdly enough,
I do get curious.
you see, when you actually go in there and look for it, you do find the live-in little bedroom. It's actually pretty good. It's near the rear end of the house, well, building, but other than that, it's pretty good. Enough space for at least three Dragonborn to live comfortably. A little kitchen area, although very small, bed, and what you know, an ice box.
Hmm.
Now those were rare, especially somewhere like here. And I believe here would be a good time to end the session. What do y'all think?
We're making money. We're making money.
Cicada's making money.
And I just killed a slaver in a second way. By the way, I had a third way possible if he didn't actually do it, but considering he's actually turning himself into ghastly stuff, that third way wouldn't have worked. I call it astral shards.
Also, I wasn't lying about Cicada being a slave trader.
Wait, you
What?
weren't?
No!
Shit, your deception was high.
Very, very high. On. Wait a second. I just had an idea. What if there was a feat that can allow you to tell the truth, but people think you're lying because nobody expects it. Like nobody expects a minotaur to be a librarian. Like if one says a librarian, most people would laugh it off, right?
That's
Maki
just
Maki's gonna have a rude awakening when Cicada starts very discreetly giving out information about his past life.
I feel like there should be his feat or skill or something. Anyways,
It should be. It really should be. Ups your deception by default.
all right. Well, I hope that everyone who's listening is having a great day, and sorry for the not uploading. A whole lot of mechanical issues. I hope that everyone will have a great day. Uh, Goodbye.
Bye.